somebody like Mace having commentary or Chris Brown popping out and talking, throwing shade
Mace
or whatever.
Mace can't perform for shit. Bro, guys, just wanted to say that. No, that's what he said.
But I think they miss the purpose that Bad Bunny is rooted in community and purpose, and that's why it's so popular. Cole fans are like Mets fans, right? You can't find
I felt like
them.
that was a good spot to wrap it up. Like, you made the point. It was beautiful. We got it out of the way.
No, but I wanted to relate it to Queen.
Go.
I wanted to bring it back to Queen.
I don't got nothing to do with Queen.
Mets fans ain't wearing a Mets gear unless the Mets are playing fire. And when the Mets are playing fire, you be like, yo, you're a Mets fan? And they wearing their gear. Same thing with Cole fans.
Cole basically spends this whole album taking us again through growing up in the Ville and like being a child of conflict and trauma and explaining all of that, which gives you like a deep look into his mind and like the decisions he's made over the past few years. He doesn't want any of that. It's literally the opposite of what Eddie
Cole
likes.
spent an hour and 41 minutes telling you how I got out of ignorant shit.
Yeah.
And Eddie's like, yeah, nah, my dude.
Eddie wants an hour and 40 minutes how I got into the ignorant shit.
Sell that crap.
I like ignorant shit. It's a fact.
Rap Life Review, let's get into it, man. We got a few complications going on behind the scenes coming off the Super Bowl. Now, Nick done got so poppin', they want to take him from Rap Life Review and put him on other shows. Nick, what they got you working on, bro?
I'm doing a couple of producer takeovers for some cool artists we got coming in the studio this week, so yeah.
Damn, look.
Some cool artists.
Some cool artists. You can't even tell us who it is, bro?
Nah, man, we can't, NDAs and all that.
All right, go ahead, do your thing.
Go ahead, Nick. Do your thing,
Do your thing, Nick.
Before we get too far into this, let's celebrate Eddie Seahawks.
Yeah.
What you want to say?
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Shout out to the whole city. Man, it was beautiful. We got our redemption against the New England Patriots. Straight belted ass the whole entire time. I was lucky enough to sit second row, blessed to be in a position, got the tickets for the dirt. So I got the confetti coming down on me and everything, man. Honestly.
I saw your video.
Yeah. You know what's weird? There was one part where you guys were on the big screen and it actually ended up going viral. And I was texting the group text like, yo, they're up there with Lewis Hamilton and Dave Grohl and everybody and Zayn. And I was texting it and I looked up and I was on the big screen right after in a completely different area than y'all.
Fire.
That's tough, Eddie.
Yeah, so shout out to my Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
Everybody back home, man. It was beautiful.
Seahawks win the Super Bowl and then Bad Bunny wins the other aspect of the Super Bowl.
Benito Bowl.
The Benito Bowl, yes. There was a football game at a Bad Bunny concert. I'm going to come to you, Nadeska. Have you loved everything you've seen post-Super Bowl? Did you love everything you saw at the Super Bowl, and are you loving everything you're seeing post-Super Bowl about Bad Bunny?
Yeah, listen, expectations were high for this, and he did not disappoint. This was the most immersive Super Bowl halftime show I've ever seen, right? It felt like he really took us into his world, and even days later, I'm still like picking out nuggets, right? There was like a lot that I learned about it culturally. And listen, we're living in a moment where we feel like government is failing us on a massive scale. Like our systems of checks and balances do not work. And it took an artist like him to sort of remind us that we can still be one together.
We can our unity, all that.
And he did it in such a like tasteful and thoughtful way, right? Without any drama. And I don't know, it was really, really amazing to watch, like him shouting out all the Latin-speaking countries in the Americas, and then the Grenadian flag being up there. That was crazy, bro. You know how small my island is, bro? You know how small it is to see that up there? Nah, that was a really, really special moment. I'm just like happy for him. Like all the work he's done to get to that point. It felt really, really good. Even Lo didn't have anything bad to say about it.
That'd be stupid, for one. It'd be really stupid. But nah, I liked how upset people were about the unity that he brought to
I like how upset
I love how the other side was upset about it. I love how the fact that the love that he brought to that stage, the love he brought to the field, the love he brought to the world pissed them off that much. And they couldn't understand the look of what he was saying. You understand what I'm saying? But that was his world, that was his time. That made everyone really fall in love with him. If they're not so familiar with his music or just who he is as a person, you can see his personality just beaming through that performance. Even just the after effect of everybody crying, like, Puerto Ricans, just everybody of Latin descent, just crying, just being just so engraved in the moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not literally my choice of music. His albums aren't my choice, specifically, but I understand who he is. So.
Well, and also you grew up in the tri-state. Look, even if for Eddie and Nick who grew up on the West Coast,
right.
I'm sure sonically when that music comes on, you guys get it 1000% whether or not you understand the language or not.
Right.
So you feel the music, and as Nadeska just said, he did it in such a tasteful way and kind of brought the story arc, whether you're of any Caribbean descent, Spanish or English, or even of Latin descent from the United States, right, or Black. You understand exactly what he was trying to convey and the cultural nuances. So it was beautiful to see. It broke records, tune-in records. I have not seen the international numbers.
But the domestic number is what, 135?
135 million, which is the most all time.
Yep.
Kendrick's obviously in there second. Michael Jackson is still in there, 133, 134.
Yep.
Nadeska,
and even your interview, your press conference interview with Zayn broke records too, right?
That was dope.
Apple Music posted within 48 hours, the official Bad Bunny interview became the most watched press conference in Super Bowl history.
Wow.
Over 68 million views.
68?
68 million.
Bro, did y'all have like a line outside
There
the
was
press
a line
conference?
for press coverage,
Right.
and I did not anticipate the aggressive nature of Spanish-speaking sports media. Woo! They was active in there, Jack. Nah, it was active, throwing bows. Cats was arguing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, these are people who cover soccer games in places
different.
where it gets active.
That's normal behavior for them.
Nah, it was completely like.
That's what they're used to.
Yes, I was like, this ain't. We thought hip hop media was y'all soft. Yo, hip hop media is soft compared to what they doing at the Spanish speaking sports.
Yeah.
Deportes media, live.
I love the performance too. If
live,
anybody
Jack.
was concerned,
Deportes media.
I so thoroughly enjoyed it. Just wanted to say that.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. How did you feel about the performance, Eddie?
Anything, but hey,
No, I was gonna get to you after my Deportes media jokes.
Just saying.
Go ahead, Eddie. How'd you enjoy the halftime?
So I've had this conversation. I've had this conversation before. Sports and music are unifiers, right? And the time that Nadeska touched upon it, and the time that is so divisive in the country and in this world, and even the lead up to this, and someone who speaks Spanish in the Spanish language gets hate even though he's an American, even though it shouldn't even be about that. And I think this time as we're seeing children and people being deported and put into basically concentration camps, here's someone who spoke about nothing but love. And I talked to one of my homies, man, Johnny Barber, who does a lot of work with us here at Apple Music, works in a lot of the Latin music that we have here. And if you know anything about Bad Bunny pre this, he says Bad Bunny is their current day, and please have some grace when I say this. He's very much in line with what Bob Marley used to do.
That's facts.
Yeah, very much. And I know people get wrapped up in because we don't Bob Marley spoke English for the most part, so we can understand what he was saying. And for us, there is a language barrier, but if you can see the example in which Bad Bunny sets, it's very much about love and unifying and uplifting people of Puerto Rican culture. But it's not just Puerto Rican culture. So he made it about America and about Latin culture, and that's what he is about, his message, and he's very intentional. Everything that happened, and I had to, not being of Latin descent, I had to understand certain cultural references that were happening that I saw online. It was like the first time in my life I can recall being on the other side of this. And I think this is a learning lesson wrapped in entertainment. And unfortunately, because people are so dumb, you have to put learning lessons in comedy and entertainment for a lot of people. So everything that Benito has been doing over the last few years, I think this has been the culmination of very much someone who's about love and uplifting his people. And I'm 100% with it, and it was beautiful to see. And like Nadeska said, it very much felt intimate. Like usually, even with Kendrick, it's a huge stage. He's walking around, it's very spread out. And even as someone who was there, I couldn't even see Bad Bunny half the time. He was like in the grass and in the sugar canes, which has a whole nother representation. Everything. It was beautiful. 10 out of 10. It was actually one of my favorite Super Bowl performances ever.
Yeah, he nailed it. And the Bob Marley reference is great because guess what? Bob Marley wasn't the best singer. Bad Bunny's people critiqued his ability or inability to sing. Bob Marley wasn't the best dancer. It wasn't like he was up there doing choreo, right? But Bob Marley is an icon because of what he stood for and what he said in the music. And I think that's the piece when you see like somebody like Mace having commentary or Chris Brown popping out and talking, throwing shade
Mace
or whatever.
Mace can't perform for shit. Bro, guys, I just wanted to say that. No, that's what he said.
But I think they miss the purpose that Bad Bunny is rooted in community and purpose, and that's why it's so popular. The songs are great, the music is great, and what he stands for is community, cherishing tradition,
unification,
and culture, unification. And this specific halftime performance was about bringing all of these communities together and representing at a time when they feel unseen or unsafe
right,
and unheard, right? And so that is powerful. And so everybody critiquing the performance through the lens of was backflips being done or is this person the best singer? You know what I'm saying? They're missing the point.
I ignored all of those, like him basically highlighting all of the cultural elements that really create the foundation of American pop culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all the people complaining about it being in Spanish, like he highlighted, this is what American pop culture is. And if you think otherwise, you're very much delusional. And then I loved, like, again, I'm not fluent in Spanish, so like I had to like go translate some things, like him opening sort of with that message of self-love, believing in yourself and your self-worth. Because again, we live in a time where a lot of us do feel worthless, we're dehumanized. So it's really important. Like he really hit it on all fronts. It's hard to take anybody seriously who's criticizing this. For you to like miss this, for it to go over your head, you are a part of the problem.
Boom.
And they're gonna try to say, oh, it's not that deep. We just want.
No, it's that deep.
You're not that deep.
They're gonna try to have.
No. I'm responding to them.
Yeah.
No, it is that deep.
It is.
You're not tapped into the bigger purpose of music. Once again, your reality and your existence isn't rooted in something that is
universal,
culturally meaningful. It might be rooted in something that is spiritually meaningful or monetarily meaningful, materialistically meaningful. That is what drives you. But there's a whole other segment of expression in art and community that is rooted in purpose.
Yes.
Right? And seeing each other and celebrating humanity. So big up Bad Bunny, big up to the Apple Music team, big up to the NFL, Rock Nation, and everybody that, watched and made this history-making moment.
Yeah, congratulations.
You were part of that moment.
Yeah,
so we are.
No.
I was watching from home this year, which was actually kind of nice.
We all here.
We saw you on the
Look at him
big
trying to be
screen.
love and community right now.
I learned from Bad Bunny. I'm trying to bring it all.
We heard you introducing, the show during the halftime show.
I could be like, Chris Brown and them, where it's like, yo, they need me. You know what I mean? But no, I'm trying to be like Bad Bunny, where it's like, nah, we need each other.
I wasn't gonna say it, but.
You know what I'm saying? We need each other. Matter of fact, on the Super Bowl, you caught up with LaRussell, who was there performing at the game, right? So while commercials would come on and all of that, there was obviously the stuff we saw leading in. But when they would go to commercial, if you were in the stadium, LaRussell and the band was in there in the stadium performing. The
house band. It was amazing. And I mean, I think we've all been following his career for a while and we've seen how he's been building brick by brick. So for him getting to be in the Bay Area and perform, be the house band for the Super Bowl was amazing. Here he is.
I feel like I achieved my goal of making something for my region, but expands beyond my region. Historically, we make regional music and they be like, oh yeah, but it doesn't go outside. You can't tour in Brooklyn. You can't tour in Atlanta. Like it stays within the area. And I feel like with these songs, I made things that expound beyond. Like if you're from the Bay, this means something to you, completely different. But if you're not from the Bay, you still enjoy it. And I'm really happy to be a part of the globalization of Bay Area music. And Kendrick really inspired me with GNX because it's an album full of slaps and it was accepted globally. And it just reminded me of man, our sound is far beyond us as long as you do it in a way that's tasteful where everybody can understand it. Sometimes we get so deep into our lingo and our culture that the world don't accept it because they can't understand what we're saying. But I really was intentional on this project and just giving the world our sound and our culture and our feeling, but in a way that's still digestible to them.
LaRussell also has a project coming out soon, so if you want to check out the full interview, you can see that on Apple Music.
Now, Nick, you got to run to another gig, B. Before we go, what are the things that we should not screw up this week? You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to be here at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
so.
No, for sure. I want to make sure you guys get, the samples and interpolations correct. And I know that we got some notes on that too. But just want to make sure we don't skip over any of those things that kind of show how reverent.
For the J.Cole album.
For the J.Cole album. Well, we're going, straight. That's all I got this week. It's just J.Cole stuff, right? Just making sure that you guys don't skip over the interpolations, how reverent he is to hip hop, him being a student of the game, and how he wraps it up in like a nice bow on this album. So, you know, I think there are things that we could look out for that maybe haven't been noted overall universally yet, like songs like I Love Her Again, right? We know this is the common flip, but I also think that there's like a kick push Lupe Fiasco type of metaphor being used in that song as well. So I want to make sure you guys maybe get into that.
Good point.
There's the track with Tim's and Future. Bunts Road Blues. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly.
Bunts Road Blues.
Bunts Road Blues, right? So we hear the Usher nice and slow interpolation on there. But I also think there's a Shay interpolation that Tim's is singing on in that song. So I kind of want to make sure we're on that point. And overall, outside of that, just want to get into the overall theme of time on this album. We've heard him talk about it. 29 and 39, we know are his ages, right? We know that a song on KOD is an intro to The Fall Off, 1985. And the first song that we hear on this album, track 2, Disc 2, ends in 1985, right? So I think there's just this time warp kind of happening that he's weaving throughout his entire catalog and wrapping it up with this that I want people to pay attention to and understand those themes. But that's really it.
Yo, Nick, thank you, brother. Now, how do you feel about the album overall, and where do you rank it, or are you there yet in ranking this in J. Cole's discography?
It's early, man, and I might be a prisoner of the moment, but I think I go, obviously, Forest Hills Drive, my number 1 J. Cole album.
Okay.
At the moment, this might go number 2.
Word.
Wow.
I think this goes number 2, just because I think he peeled back layers of his life and artistry that he's kind of touched on a surface level before, but now the picture gets painted even more with like friends that he's talking to and places that he's been, and you know, the let out, him being inside a club and telling us I'm in the bathroom in this club, like those details that we get throughout this album, that's just one example, I think takes us to a place in his mind that he's never taken us before. So just that as a prime example of why this is currently number 2 for me.
Let's go to our resident J. Cole fan club. Supervisor.
You just chimed in as he was talking, so I feel like you should jump in here. We're not doing this on this episode. I'm trying to have a serious adult conversation.
This is a serious adult conversation. We were just stating
this is your time to shine.
Surprise, Ebro spent the weekend somehow talking to Benito about the Super Bowl and simultaneously trolling us in the chat about being Cole fans. We're not doing this today. Wewe're not doing it.
Listen, this is how I feel about Cole fans.
He's talking to you and Trudy.
This is how I feel about Cole fans.
I'll tell you exactly what you said, how you feel about Cole fans.
Right.
We're not putting our personal business.
But while you said Cole fans show up specifically when Cole shows up. They're not arguing any other time. They're not debating any. They're too smart for debate. You can't troll them until...
Trying to throw in a little compliment there. I see that.
No. But when that album comes out, now you got them. Now they'll engage with you, and it's time. Let's get it on.
I think that's what he was saying.
So he said, Quick Stop is fire and the most Cole fan thing musically. I was wondering if you'd mind explaining yourself, please.
Quick Stop is emotional. It's emotional.
Right.
It's thoughtful.
Right.
It's J. Cole laying bare his feelings.
Stop. No, stop laughing.
Why you laughing?
It's not funny.
Because it comes out, it all sounds like compliments, and yet somehow...
Condescending?
It's still condescending and jokes.
No, it's not. I'm being serious.
Your tone is... Yeah.
No. But that's because Cole fans and everybody is insecure about the fact that Cole is great at this. Yeah. Like, that's nothing to be insecure about. There's nothing to be insecure. First of all, motherfuckers gonna talk shit when you sensitive. That's just motherfuckers. When they see you being sensitive and they see you being transparent about your feelings and you're reminiscing on how you felt back in the day and you're talking about all of the ways you felt in the moment and the things that traumatized you and the way the world is and all that, niggas is gonna be like, yo, shut the fuck up. However, however, and all of us that do that are appreciative that someone's doing it.
Right.
Oh.
For sure. But you're still gonna talk shit. That's just how people are, man. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all acting brand new like you ain't been in the barbershop all the block? Where you're like, somebody comes outside and they like, man, da-da-da. Niggas is like, yo, shut the fuck up with that shit. It happens all the time. Like, what are you talking about? But Cole fans are like Mets fans, right? You can't find
I felt like
them.
that was a good spot to wrap it up. Like, you made the point. It was beautiful. We got it out of the way.
No, but I wanted to relate it to Queens.
Go.
I wanted to bring it back to Queens.
I don't got nothing to do with Queens.
Mets fans ain't wearing a Mets gear
Yes, they
unless the
are.
Mets are playing fire. And when the Mets are playing fire, you be like, yo, you're a Mets fan? And they wearing their gear. Same thing with Cole fans.
Cole fans are wearing their fall off, they're wearing their hoodie. Yes, they are,
Nah,
bro.
you don't
Yes,
know.
they
You
are.
don't know a Cole fan until that Cole album drops. And when it drops, they there for ready for
they're just
action.
hibernators. That's what Cole fans
Yeah,
are.
they're too smart to be out here arguing with Drake fans and all these other fucking ne'er-do-wells on the internet. They're very intellectual, and they know their guy is John Blaze for them. And so, boom, anybody talking that shit, they not outside until the album
He
drops.
brought up the Mets. I don't know what it's like rooting for a losing team. That sounds poor. I don't know what that's
Okay,
like.
you see, that was unnecessary.
Right, that was
See,
yeah,
Mariners,
okay,
he's the
yeah,
same
yeah.
way. You didn't know he was a Mariners fan until the Mariners started playing halfway decent.
No, now I was a Mariners hater until they got into that. But
That nigga win one championship, now he's
But
like,
anyways, don't listen. I overtalked right there. Fine, Nadeska. We have to hear from you on this Cole album.
Chill
Nobody
out.
else's
I just-
opinion matters. Let's
That's
keep
not,
it a bean.
Stop, you're putting too much pressure on me. Listen,
sorry.
listen.
Well, you did the Cole piece.
It was a great. It
was a great
high
piece.
five.
Good. It was really good. It was good.
Fucking John Blaze.
There we go.
That shit was on point.
Yeah, that was
and there's
good.
a follow up to that too.
Oh, you got another one?
I'm trying to work on the follow-up, but it was a lot to digest. So I'll be completely honest with y'all. I was feeling completely overwhelmed
Okay.
and anxious this weekend. The project dropped. It's an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I feel like you need at least 3 listens to even like digest what's fully going on. And I was stuck home in negative 15-degree weather with 2 kids. Like I couldn't,
It's
no, I'm
hard.
not, like it's funny, but I was feeling extremely anxious. I couldn't listen. Everyone's like hitting me for my thoughts, my opinions. I'm like, guys, I got through like 2 songs. And then I finally made it to I Love Her Again. And then he has that line, you see how it is getting older, raising kids, all that spending time and listening to her is hard to do. And I was like, this is why I love Cole. It's like this is the one, right? He said this is the album he's been trying to make for his entire career. I feel like lyrically it's very dense. The production is thoughtful and layered. Of course, like super narrative driven. Like I feel like it's not too soon to say. I think this is his best body of work. If you
Okay.
consider all of the elements we've seen from Cole over the years, even if we're not ranking it, I don't want to rank, I don't want to say favorites, not favorites, just objectively speaking, I think this is the best body of work. Would you guys disagree with that?
I'm not there. Listen,
I'm not there yet.
I'm gonna go back and put it up against some other shit. I am not the Cole fan that you are, so I'm going to believe you.
I'm just talking about technicalities. I feel like also people, when they talk about Cole, it's like very emotionally charged, considering the things that happened in the past few years. Just putting all of that aside, I'm talking about like technically.
No.
Like the production, the features.
I just need to say, 7-minute drill and that whole shit didn't cross my mind when I was listening to this album.
It shouldn't have, though.
Like, I did not even want this album to be about any of that shit, right? Like, I didn't want it, right? I wanted this album to be about what Cole has been trying to say this album is about, right? His whole career, finishing his journey the way he wanted to. I was thinking about your news piece when I went into listening to this album. Like, it definitely was like, oh, nah, this is a moment that we need to like allow him to be the artist he's always been for the fan base and the community. Back to that community talk. Cole's community is rooted in something real and people feel him. It's not just, oh, he got bars and you know what I mean? He out here killing cats on the mic. No, it's rooted in real life shit that he's been able to articulate and help people feel him and them feel themselves and understand themselves through his music, right?
Yeah, jokes aside, that's why you single out Quick Stop. And it makes sense.
Right.
And him screaming at the end of the record about wanting to make a difference. I was like, this is me complaining to Ebro about I just want to make a difference. And him being like, shut up. And like, just go get a
That's
hobby or
why
something.
it's fire the most Cole fan thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's what it's supposed to be. Man, that's what he's worked for. Eddie, how did you feel about the Cole album?
Man, I guess I'm gonna be the one.
Nah,
guy,
fuck
huh?
Eddie. We not going to Eddie right now. I feel like it's about to be negative.
But did you spend a lot of time with the album? You were working and at the Super Bowl
Nah,
and all
man,
that this weekend.
we gonna have to wait an episode. I don't feel like,
I didn't
man.
I didn't know where that was about to go. I mean,
Wait, let me see what his first sentence is.
Okay.
Go.
So to answer your question, the first time I listened to it, I realized like, oh man, I gotta like listen to this for real. So let me zone in. So I listened to it the first time through.
Give him a second.
And I was like, all right, cool. This is deeper than just a light listen. This is not a passive listening experience. So I was in the
turn the light on his intellect.
So
you know what I'm saying? Turn the lights on.
So I had a lot of time in the airport coming back from the Super Bowl, and I was like, all right, this is it. I'm gonna just sit in the lounge. I don't got nothing to do. I'm gonna just focus in on this Cole album. And I listened so much, I was like, let me take notes. Cause people are gonna be like, oh, you're hating or you're this. So I was like, let me like in the moment figure out what my thoughts are. So overall, it's cool. Like it's cool, man. Like it's cool. Like Cole can rap really, really good. I like J.Cole. I like Born Center more. I like Forest Hill Drive more. There's a few other albums.
You like the hits.
I like the hits, bro. I like the hits.
So there's no hits on his album?
Okay, so what I did like, I like Poor Thing, great song.
Okay.
Passed the car test. Legacy was smooth as hell. That Bunts Road Blues, Fire, Him Tim's Future. Who the Fuck Is You is hard. After Who the Fuck Is You, for me, and you can not love something and not be disrespectful. It just got kind of dry for me, bro. Like there was a lull for me from Who the Fuck Is You all the way to 39 intro where I was like, all right, this is, and I understand what he's doing. These are deep songs. Like Cole fans get it and they love it, and it just got dry for me. And then by the time we got to Old Dog, Slaps, I Love Her Again.
You didn't like drum and bass?
Huh?
I like drum and bass a lot.
Drum and bass is...
Okay, fair. Yeah, fair. I Love Her Again. Love that concept. And then, are we going to have a conversation about What If?
What's the conversation? You asked us.
No, we have to have the conversation about what if's the joint where he's like
talking
The
about
Biggie Pac.
Pac and Biggie thing.
Pac and Big and like obviously it's what is that, a sublime about the current state of things.
To his situation or what he went through.
It's weird because Kendrick already did a version of this. Drake did it with AI, sorta. So then now we're getting his version of it. And I don't know, about it like the third time around, it's like none of y'all knew Pac or Big. It's weird, bro. It's not weird to anybody else. Like we don't know what
I think the way I processed it was as fans of the game and as fans of these individuals, all three of them, these artists had made such an impact on them as rappers.
Like,
and represent something that they aspire to be. And so you do, I think if you're that type of person, there is a what if, like what if this happened and what if that happened and how did things actually play out? You know what I mean? I think that's a normal human expression, especially when, like when you think about people who inspire you, when you think about people you love, when you think about love and loss, when you think about your parents, when you think about all type of deep shit. I think that's normal.
So for me,
no? Eddie says no.
Listen.
No, clearly.
Because I think in hip-hop media, we do this. It's like if you don't love something, we shit on it. I don't have to shit on it to say I didn't love it. Like, I just didn't love it. I enjoyed the rapping. Like, that was the biggest takeaway. It's like there's very few people. He's in the upper 1 percentile of people that can rap. So even though I might not like the song structure or the beats necessarily, the hooks or the chorus, there was throughout the whole thing, A+ raps. And as someone who loves that aspect, the whole hour and 40 minutes, I like that. I like someone to challenge themselves conceptually. I like that it's an homage to loving hip hop. I love that the front cover and the back cover is like him back in I think he was like 16 years old when he took that picture of like him making beats. And I love that he loves rap. I love that. The album wasn't an album that I loved. And who the fuck am I? Like, that's
so I think, and what you're critiquing right now, Eddie, has been a critique of Cole
his entire career.
Forever, which is beat selection, who's making the beats, should have used different producers, should have worked with this producer, that producer. That's always been a thing. Well, you're not talking about the concept of the album. Yeah. You're not even talking, once again, about his lyrics. You're talking about why isn't this beat better?
It's an hour.
Why isn't this?
It's an hour and 40 minutes, bro. Like, that's a lot of music, bro. And if you're listening for an hour, 40 minutes, for me, it got dry for a bit. The rapping never did, but overall, like, it didn't hold my attention that's a movie. You know what I'm saying? And he made his movie with this album, and I get it. It's his last album, so he says. And there's a lot he wanted to get off his chest. It was, 10 years in the making, according to him. And I love conceptually what he did. However, I would be lying if I just sat up here and be like, oh, I think it's one of his best albums. It was great. For me, it didn't hit that mark, but I also don't have to hate it. I don't hate it. It's just...
So you're looking at this album like you look at a Scorsese film, where you'll be like, yo, why didn't they just edit that one section out and this joint would have been John Blaze?
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
Right, one more thing, bro. Ed, thank you, bro.
Boss up.
You said Cole was in the upper 1 percentile. You want to in the 99th percentile. That's where they really at. And
yes.
Not a quick fact check before you leave.
Nick with the what did you miss on the clothes?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. See you, man.
He's not a 1%er?
No, he's a 99.
Don't look at him like that, Eddie. He's trying to help you out.
Yeah.
That was
All right, I'll see you in a minute.
Now, it's funny. We'll check back in with Eddie in the LA studio. But back to you, Lo. You feel similarly to Eddie, or you feel different?
No, I feel similar to Eddie because I do feel like it's a long piece of work. It's a big body of work, and there's a lot of things that he wanted to and tried to say. And I think I said this in our group chat that this could have been a perfect 13 or 14 song album, right? Mm-hmm. The double disc was a lot. Conceptually, it's a lot. Rapping wise, it's phenomenal. But I'm still sitting with it. I'm still trying to figure out if this is in the top 5 of his body of work. If this is one of those records that he can walk away, like this album he can walk away from the game with. Like, there's a lot to really put together. So I'm still trying to really wrap my head around what this is.
Interesting. I wouldn't question that one part. So I understand you guys feeling like the project is too long. I'm sure he wouldn't be mad at people saying like, look, you could have subtracted a couple of tracks and still the narrative would have been strong. You showcased all of your skills. But I feel like I also can't fault him for wanting to get all these songs on there.
No.
If this is the one
it's not
where
a
he
fault.
wanted to...
It's not a fault. I would have rathered, I mean, obviously it's not specifically for me to decide or whatever, but I would have rathered for me to help digest a little bit more easy, a little bit more chunkier, pause, if that was just like a 13 to 15 song project.
So can I interject?
Yes, you can.
I think Cole don't give a fuck.
I know, and which is what I just said. I know it's not for me to decide.
Well, no, but here's why. I'm gonna tell you why. I think that's done on purpose at this point in his career.
Juncture, yes.
Didn't people complain that Born Center was too long? Wasn't that a complaint?
Yeah, it was not as long as this. It was like 18.
But it was long though. It was like 18.
Yeah, it wasn't 24.
Yeah, but we're talking about a 5-song difference. Like it was still long as hell.
It does make up the difference.
But people did say at that time. I recall people saying Born
that was
Center
a common argument.
Long.
Right.
People have always said throughout his entire career that, work with some other beat makers, we don't like the beats, I think on this project,
it's a fuck you to every one of those.
You have to be like, I know what the critiques are,
and
I'm gonna lean into the exact shit to close my book, to close my story, because I'm standing on my shit.
Yeah, of course.
This is my thing that I built with my team and my community for us. And anyone else, y'all could come along for the ride, but don't think we changing up to appease people, to appease these critiques.
And that's fine, but the critiques are gonna live. The critiques are gonna be sound. And the critiques should be respected, right? Because we're not looking at this.
Should they be?
Yes, they should, but they don't have to adhere to the.
So let me ask you this:
they don't have to alter.
So I don't.
I can hear your critique, and I can respect it.
At this point, right? So let's look at Cole, let's look at Drake, and let's look at Kendrick.
Okay.
For the critiques,
right,
of their brands.
And their albums.
And their albums or
just
whatever.
Overall.
Just their whole thing.
Yeah,
Kendrick is always like, it's too hard, it's too dense, it's too much going.
It's too political, it's too much commentary.
It's too much, I can't keep up.
Gotcha.
And guess what Kendrick keeps doing?
Same thing.
Boom. Drake, you haven't dropped a hip-hop album. It's always a classic hip-hop. It's always like, where's the bona fide hip-hop album?
And that's usually me.
Right? Drake continues to drop what Drake wants to drop for Drake and his fans. And we just covered the Cole critiques.
But I'm not
saying, and all I'm saying is I'm applauding these gentlemen.
Yes, I respect
in the
it.
face of the critiques or whatever, that they are the biggest and best of a generation, and arguably 3 of the biggest and best all time in this hip hop shit, that they continue to be true to their brands, their communities, and the shit they serve, and the shit that they serve and stand for. And so often, like when I went into this Cole album, trying to listen to a Cole album. So I'm grading it on a curve. I'm not grading you against my expectations of just a general hip hop album. I'm grading you on my expectations of your brand, especially when you're telling me going into the album that disc 29 is about when you was turning 30 and disc 39 is when you was turning 40, and this is the last book in your, in your proverbial Bible, you know what I'm saying, of your discography. So I'm listening to it through that lens. I think a lot of people listen to these albums through the filter of they're comparing it to The Blueprint, or they're comparing it to Illmatic, or they're comparing it to, Life After Death, or you know what I'm saying?
There's a gift and a curse of that notion, because we're holding this album somewhat to that high degree of what we know his caliber is and what it's been over the last 10, 15, 20 years, right? So it's sort of kind of hard to be like, all right, I'm just going to judge it off a Cole album when we want to judge it off of the greatest. Because some of people are saying, like, this is one of the greatest albums of all time, even though we're only 3 days in. Or like she just said, this is his greatest, body of work.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's fine.
You also, like, thank you. The way you articulated that makes a lot of sense. I think that, again...
So I'm in the fan club? I'm in the fan club? J.Cole fan club?
I'm just say yes, just so we can continue.
No. I know people are going to be like, it's crazy to jump out the window and say this is his best album, et cetera, et cetera. Look, I love Forest Hills Drive and a lot of other albums, but I think with everything that Ebro explained and what Cole explained and the context within which this album is created, it's hard for me to not feel, again, that, like, technically this is his best work. Right? He struggled with song making. It feels like this production felt true to him, and also was like, it was like diverse. Yeah. It was diverse and just different from things he's done in the past. I feel you and Eddie on this, but I feel like we can't come to a consensus here with that.
There's not supposed to be a consensus.
Right, and it's not, and this can change. Like my feelings about it, like I can come back in about 2 or 3 weeks and be like, yo, you know what? That 24 pack that he gave us, yes.
Let me ask you something. The first time you heard Life After Death, did you love everything on Life After Death?
I didn't love everything.
So there were skips for you on Life After Death. When you listen to Life After Death now?
No, nah, barely.
No skips?
Barely, if any.
Wait, you barely listen or no skips?
No, I said barely, if any. Skips.
Skips?
Yes.
The reason I bring that up is just to what you were talking about, what we were talking about, where this exists. Because in the moment, you have feelings about things. Hopefully there are songs on here that stand the test of time, right? Like that we're hearing a year from now, 2 years from now, because they become, radio hits. Because that's what radio's
pivotal
great for.
Big bookmarks and
but
conversation.
They become actual hit songs that continue to be played. Bunch Road Blues, I think, has potential for that. Run a Train has potential for that.
I like 26, maybe.
Only You with Burna Boy, I believe, has potential for that. I Love Her Again, hopefully. I think hip-hop DJs hopefully lean on that. What else was in there? I really love drum and bass, but I don't know if people are going to get to that. What's the other one? There was a couple things.
The Villas is also amazing.
I want to hear
The Villas, I think, could be something. Yeah. For sure. And I think there's a whole other conversation around, wasn't that beat the Alchemist?
Yeah.
No, but Alchemist and Badu, that single that they put out was that same beat, and then Badu is on this too. Yeah. And so I think it's the same beat.
Is it? I mean,
I think that's the same exact beat.
Yeah,
like if you play that, that remember, because the Alchemist Badu was supposed to drop an album.
Right.
Yeah.
We never got that album yet.
Yeah.
But this was the single. We got this single.
Right.
So if you go listen to that single, it's the same beat, and Badu is on the Villas.
And he sampled her when he did Too Deep for the intro, right? Which was like mixtape, so he could have done that. So now he finally gets his full circle moment with her being featured on it. And also like him going so sample heavy on it is good, because remember I think it's like on the outro of like Forest Hills Drive, he's like complaining about how hard it is to sample. I'm gonna take y'all to the Supreme Court. Why do y'all make that so difficult? So him to be able to come back and do all of these samples on it, again, is like an amazing moment for him. This is something he's been working up to until this point.
Like you said, full circle moment.
Yeah, the production for me on this, like I understand, again, it's like a lot, it can be a little bit overwhelming, but I feel like he like really figured it out in terms of like making great songs that like make sense for him.
Well, like, yeah, and then he's really singing on some joints. Like, I heard him sing before. Like, Shot the DeLorean was reminding us of the record that came out after the Mike Brown
the
killing.
one that wasn't officially released.
Oh,
Free.
the one he did on
Free,
Letterman.
which Cole, hopefully one day you put that on streaming service because that was fire record.
But yeah, apparently on Forest Those Drives he's singing a lot too. But
he sang a lot, but no, on here
only
he's
you
singing.
and Burna Boy? I was like, okay, it's crazy.
Bro was like, I was like, yo, was that a run? Was he riffing, yo?
Nah, he went for it. He went for it.
So, and I love that he took those risks, which I found myself thinking, listening to him take these risks musically on this album, I think he took some, had me thinking like, yo, is this where Cole may be going, right? Like, is he going to, look, everybody make jokes about seeing Cole ride bikes around New York, you know what I'm saying, in the sandals and sneakers, and he don't care. I really think Cole want to be on a beach somewhere, you know what I'm saying, riding his bike up and down the beach, chilling with his kids and wife and playing the guitar and singing and rapping. And,
like 39 intro, like starts like a folk song and then like switches up.
I think that's really where he's trying to go for an album, bro, where he's got like his like, beach cruiser album, you know what I'm saying? His beach volleyball album, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yo, Eddie's checking back in. Yo, Ed.
Eddie, what up?
Yeah.
No, these studios is fire over there. You got a whole other look right now.
They got me in the penthouse now. I was in the luxury.
That's crazy over there.
But I had to move on up. I'm on George Jefferson right now.
But I don't know, where did you check back in at?
I've been listening. I heard most of the conversation. I didn't get what Lowe's overall take on the album was, but I got what you were saying after it.
Lo, did you land where you like the album? You give it?
No, I do. I like the album.
Overall, you like the album.
Overall, I like the album very much.
Eddie went with cool.
Yeah, I don't think it's cool. I mean, it's way more than cool. Way more.
I don't dislike it. I think it's,
that's shit.
But you don't you seem, what's the word? Is the word indifferent? No.
Yeah, you seem a little indifferent.
It can be indifferent. Look, apathetic. Nah, I think because here's the thing. He's rapping so well. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I think, I wish I had a better connection to it. Like,
it had different ingredients.
I want to like it. I think J.Cole.
Yo, he don't like that album. Let's get on it.
He's like, when you say I want to like it,
he like, yo, bro raps really well, but
that's where it
the beats is trash. Just say what it's say. That's how you feel about it.
I don't think it's trash though.
But you want to like it.
Cool. I want to like it more. I just don't. Like, it's kind of like,
so you're middle of the road.
Remember when you were young? No, well, I was saying, like, remember when you were young and everybody in school like one girl, and for some reason, like, you're stupid, you're young, you don't know no better. It's like, I'm not attracted to her, but I kind of want to like her because everybody else likes her because she's got to be pretty. What's wrong with me? That's how I feel about this album. It's like, damn,
so you feel like you're being peer pressured into the conversation of enjoying and liking this project?
No, it's not peer pressure. It's like, why is this not connected with me like it's connecting to everybody else? Like, I want to love it like Nadeska loves it. I want to love it like Nick loves it.
But there's no reason for you to love it the way that we love it. It's different. I don't know what, you've mentioned it before, like your relationship with him in the past. You said you like Born Sinner and some albums, but you're not.
You know what it is? We got to go back to who Eddie is. He don't like overly smart shit, bro. Like, just be honest. Eddie don't like smart shit.
You're also not an overly emotional.
Like, if it ain't street and ain't nobody really getting their wig peeled, he's not that passionate about it. If the beat ain't really, really, really hitting hard and the shit ain't got no mud and gutter on it, he's not really that passionate about it.
It's going to sail out of bounds for him. Like, majority of the time, based on what Ebro just said, and we've had this conversation with Eddie, and it's no detriment to what he likes and what his, idea of hip-hop is. He
like ignorant shit. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, he do.
I do like ignorant shit.
Well, that explains everything.
At least he's honest and upfront about it.
Cole basically spends this whole album taking us again through growing up in the Ville and like being a child of conflict and trauma and explaining all of that, which gives you like a deep look into his mind and like the decisions he's made over the past few years. He doesn't want any of that. It's literally the opposite of what Eddie
Cole
likes.
Spent an hour and 41 minutes telling you how I got out of ignorant shit. Yeah. And Eddie's like, nah, my dude.
Eddie wants an hour and 40 minutes how I got into the ignorant shit.
Sell that crap.
I like ignorant shit. It's a fact.
Hey, yo, listen, ain't nothing wrong with that. It ain't not, because one of the first things I did.
It kind of is, but we love Eddie. So
when it comes to music, like if that's the shit you enjoy, then that's not who he is as a person. But like even when I got with Dis 29 and like it started very aggressive, it started very vibrant. And then to Eddie's point, when it got towards the latter and hit Dis 39, it kind of lost the oomph. But that's why sitting with it makes more sense because like now I'm understanding why the umph is more so into the lyrical aspect of it, aside from the production.
There it is. Well, hopefully y'all had time to check it out. I saw people, this thing is 1 hour and 41 minutes. I saw people after 30 minutes of it being out claiming that they don't like it.
Or calling it a classic.
You couldn't have even listened to the whole project. It's 1 hour and 41 minutes. How after 30 did you know?
If it was a classic.
And it's so thoughtful in many ways that I think it definitely needs to marinate with people.
You gotta really sit with it. You really gotta sit with this shit. Like,
what'd you say, Eddie?
And some people don't want to do that. Like when I realized it was gonna be an active listening experience, a part of me was like, oh, I can. Some dude came up to me in the gym, was like, yo, you listening to J.Cole? I swear to God, this really happened, one of the trainers. And I was like, yeah, I listened to it before I came here. Like, this isn't a gym album. Like, you gotta really like lock in. And a lot of us, when we listen to music, a lot of people don't really want to lock in like that.
Listen, I want to big up Cole because once again, doing things for his community, his fan base, and true to his brand. Didn't he take his own old car, put a new engine in it, and then it's moving around the country? And
I don't know if he put a new engine in it, but it was the same car.
I think he said, he took the Civic out because he was talking about, of course he was like selling the early mixtape like out of the Civic, like on college campuses and like at gas stations. He mentioned like another album he was selling, and he said he wanted to really bring that feeling back. So he was literally driving around selling CDs of the Fall Off out of like.
Yeah, he's going to college campuses, like specific places. I think he's in Atlanta right now. He was at this lounge called 33 the other night. So like, I don't know if it was like a listening session.
Videos are crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a listening session or it's just him being there.
He's been popping up at like fan like activations. So I think especially the one in Fayetteville was like a fan listening session.
Well, and I saw they had one over here in Brooklyn too, where it was like a bookstore. It was like books and bars. But anyway, so shout out to Nyla Simone too, and the team out here at the Brooklyn Public Library. That when the album dropped, they had like a books and bars, and it was a Cole thing. I think he showed up to that too. So that's some real nerdy rap stuff. That's some lyricist lounge. You know what I mean? Poetry, snap. I like that.
I didn't know he was even in New York when the album dropped. I thought he was in North Carolina.
I don't know. That's what I just saw the flyer. Okay. But I wanted to pick him up, so I don't know if he was.
Well,
there
I mean, I hope he does come to New York, and I hope we find him somewhere in the Honda Civic.
I'm into all of it, man, and I'm glad Cole, as somebody who's given us so much great stuff, is landing at this spot in his career. You know what I mean? Because as somebody who has been doing this a long time, to be able to still have the things that are important to you, and I think I learned this even from your news report, Nadeska, about Cole, this kind of tug of war with, what the game is asking you to be and fighting to be the version of yourself and defining success, in your own terms. I feel like, you saying that is so much of what I see in Cole, right? Yeah. Somebody who's defined what success looks like in this hip hop thing that he fell in love with as a kid under his own terms. And I think that's, once you've been doing something a long time and you could do that, and the game didn't make you ugly or bitter, and you're still finding beauty in it, and you're still wanting to connect with your fans, that shit is fire, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it will break you,
take
right?
that from an old head, B.
Success is gone, I'll still be me. I mean, so he did like the AMA, and just, everyone was speculating about whether this would really be the final album. It sounds like this is his final project and he put it in quotes, as J.Cole. So like you said, maybe that's the next version with the Beach
Jermaine,
Cruiser.
He gonna use his middle name. What's his middle name?
Lamar.
Jermaine Lamar albums is about to be different now.
That's gonna be It's a Boy. So he was like also teasing that it's like a mixtape, and he thought about dropping it before this, but then he thought with the Birthday Blizzard EP and the Fall Off, it would have been too much. So there is definitely still more music.
Is it Jermaine Lamar?
It may be Jermaine Lamar.
He can't though, because Kendrick Lamar, Jermaine Lamar, he can't do that. He can't do that.
Well, he's not lying.
That's not on us to figure out.
No, maybe they collab and it's the Lamars.
I feel like we're also past that point.
I think we're sure. That's not gonna happen. Weren't they supposed to have a joint?
Jermaine and Kendrick, the Lamars.
That was one of those like lures for a long time. I feel like
I think
we could just close the door on that. It's not gonna
happen.
Sorry,
y'all. I think that's over.
Listen, you never know, man.
Nah.
Yeah, but I'm curious in the comments what y'all think about this album. Objectively speaking, if you can do that. You can't. No, you can't.
Hip hop don't ever want to be objective or nuanced on the internet, bro.
Everything is subjective. Everything is by law. So like we're gonna get the classics. We're gonna get It's Boring. We're gonna get everything in the comments.
If they listen this long about J. Cole, they about to all love the album.
Right, because they already cut off the episode if you got to this point.
Yeah, like you're gonna listen to 20 minutes of J.Cole if you don't like J.Cole. It's gonna be like, Eddie, you're an idiot. This is the best album ever. They get the 20 minutes into
I'm
a
sure
J.Cole
some people
conversation.
are gonna call me an idiot too for saying it's the best. I just feel like it culminates
I'm in
in
the
the
minority.
moment that
Y'all
you
are good.
wanted.
They won't call you.
This
They
one.
won't call you an idiot. They might
Sure
say.
would.
They might say, it's too early, but they won't call you an idiot.
Which fan base is mad at J. Cole right now? Like of the fan bases that jump in comments. You know, you got the OVOs and you got the.
I don't think
Drake
anybody's
fans, right?
Why
When
would,
the Drake
I don't think
fans be
anybody's
mad
mad
at-
at.
Is Cole not offensive to any fan base?
No.
I love
The Drake fans don't like him right now, right?
Why? I don't know why they wouldn't.
Didn't it? Wasn't there like a perceived shot at Drake in the birthday blizzard?
Oh,
yeah. So
The
then,
OVO hoes
yeah.
might
So then,
be tight.
yeah.
Oh,
So then, they might have a
yeah.
little qualm with him. All right, they'll get over it. Whatever.
Yo, Rap Life Review for Eddie and Lo and Nick and Nadeska. I'm Ebro, and we'll see y'all next week. Please like and share and do all the things you do on the internet to make sure you show us some love. There it is.
What's up? Appreciate you checking out an episode of the Rap Life Review. We're here every week. If you want to subscribe on Apple Music, YouTube, you'll never miss an episode. Get in the conversation, hit us in the comments, hit that like button. We'll see you next week.